is the history of Ashoo Zoroaster and the religious philosophy known as Mazdayasna that he created as a result of his communication with and the divine intervention of Ahura Mazda. The world today has a number of established religions which have been in existence for hundreds and even thousands of years. We are introduced to the myriad of religions that existed before, during, and after the time of Zoroaster and have since disappeared, whether by being eradicated by ruling powers or having evolved into other forms. As a result of the intense research done by Mr. Golrang, this book gives us three basic perspectives. One is the history of Zoroaster, Mazdayasna, and the many intricacies of this particular religious philosophy. Another is how Mazdayasna and later Zoroastrianism played a significant role in the history of that time. And the third is how history affected the evolution of Mazdayasna, Zoroastrianism. The first part of the book relates the prevalent religions of that time and how those philosophies impacted Zoroaster. We are introduced to Zoroaster from his birth through his period of isolation and contemplation, and ultimately his realization of the philosophy he felt compelled to share with his family and his community, and his mission to bring that philosophy to the greater population of the world. More than just the story of the paths of Zoroaster and Mazdayasna, the book details much about the history of that part of the world which was the cradle of civilization, the periods of peace and turmoil, the rise and fall of kings and emperors, of cultures and civilizations, and how religion was often a major factor. I was struck by the incredible parallels some of the ancient religious philosophies shared with Christianity. We learned that the main tenets of Mazdayasna are similar to the basic philosophies of Judeo-Christian beliefs, but on a more generalized level. As a Christian, I must admit I found it difficult to accept some of the premises presented in regards to the connection between Mazdayasna and Christianity. However, that did not take away from my fascination with the incredible history of the religions of that time. Through the story of Zoroaster and Mazdayasna also weaves the intricate story of Iran as described through the evolution of the various religions, monarchs, and empires that impacted its culture and history. We see how the various histories handed down through time, whether through oral or written tradition, and coming from widely disparate sources, are often the same history, with name variations and similar timelines. While it is difficult to confirm some of the ancient history due to the lack of definitive proof, these overlapping histories often give credence to the facts. Ultimately, it's the story of a man who dared to challenge the existing beliefs and traditions of his time. It is the story of his struggles, victories, and defeats, and how his journey and the strength of his convictions impacted the history of spiritual belief and even empires and civilizations. It's the story of how one man who believes in himself can make a difference in the world.